Hello, friends. Welcome back. It is Friday, April 11th, and tomorrow and Sunday I'm going to be playing in the Battle to End Alzheimer's Warhammer Age of Sigmar Grand Tournament, which is very exciting. I haven't played in a tournament since Everwinter in January, so it's been a minute. It's time. Obviously, we had the new battle scroll since then. So we've got a couple rules changes since then. We've got some points changes. We had the battle scroll, and then we also just had points changes. So I'm going to be playing Slaves to Darkness again. And my list is a little different from the Everwinter list, but very similar. So basically not too much has changed. Let me just pull it up right now. Called You'll Pry My Double Chosen from My Cold Dead Hands, because that is what my reaction to the points changes were. Especially because Everwinter, I borrowed my friend Roger's 10 Chosen to have 20, and since then I got another 10 Chosen and have just almost finished painting them. So I'm certainly, now that I bought my own second unit of 20, I'm not going to not use them in this tournament, especially because I felt like at Everwinter I had if I had my whole army painted to the standard I like to paint it, which it was not quite there yet, and if I had not borrowed a unit of Chosen, I felt like I had a good chance at overall at Everwinter. So I want to have a shot at best overall here at the Battle to End Alzheimer's. So I've spent, I don't know, a dozen hours in the last week. Just bringing up the level of some of my existing stuff that was finished, giving the bases a little bit more pop, and finishing up, mostly finishing that unit of 10 Chosen. So my list was 60 points over from Everwinter, so I needed some changes. I dropped the Gaunt Summoner to just a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, so that saved 50 points. So again, my friend Roger, who I borrowed the Chosen from, he played double Chosen at a GT in Maryland at Games and Stuff a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, without the Gaunt Summoner. And this was post Battle Scroll, so with the Field Sergeant, oh my god, not Regiment, Honor Guard, yeah. So the Field Sergeant, Honor Guard, with the Chaos Lord, and he said that felt very good. So it felt good even without the, I guess I should turn off notifications, huh? Anyway, what am I trying to say? Right, yeah, the Chosen felt very fast and good enough even without the Gaunt Summoner to drop them out of the tower. With the Field Sergeant, and the Chaos Lord is also a nice little bit of tech with them because it can chain activate the Chosen, and when it chain activates the Chosen, it gives them +1 to wound. So Chosen potentially on 2s and 2s instead of 3s and 3s or 2s and 3s is of course even scarier than Chosen at any other time. So buffing them is great. He's also, since he's going to be sitting with Chosen, he's going to get the Radiance of Dark Glory. I had played a little bit with Double Fight on the Karkadrak, but like, when you've got 20 Chosen, a Karkadrak double fighting is not going to be that impactful, whereas healing a little bit can definitely be good. So basically, the other changes to the Everwinter list is I dropped the 5 Chaos Knights and the Demon Mounted Lord, to put in the Chaos Lord, a unit of Furies, and then the Mind Stealer Sphyrinx. So between the Furies and keeping the Fell Riders in, I have 2 little chaff units that can run off and take the flanks or just screen a little bit if I need it. Run around, maybe get a late game, take their land, things like that. Also, having 2 little chaff units, there we go, Fell Riders and Furies, is very nice for the Vice, which is in the pack. So we're playing Battle for the Pass, Scorched Earth, which is 8 objectives, which is probably going to be my most difficult map. Better Part of Valor, the Vice, and Focal Points. So, mostly 4 and 5 objective maps, or 6, one with 8, and then of course the Vice I love because piling into the center is great for me. So yeah, I like having 2 fast little chaff units for stuff like that. And then the Mind Stealer with the Chosen is just an amazing little bit of tech. Obviously, making something strike last makes charging into the Chosen just terrifying. And also it gives you the potential to maybe charge into something, double fight the Chosen, also make the thing you're fighting strike last. So be able to fight both of your fights, including your strike last one, before the enemy gets to go, if it's your turn. So that's all good. And then since the Slaanesh banner changed to roll 3 and pick the 2 highest instead of just a straight 3d6, talking to folks and Roger and stuff, we think Dread banner is probably the best now. You can still get 3d6 charge potentially from the Sorcerer Lord. And the Dread banner is just nice because it's both an offensive and defensive buff, since you're stopping all out attack going into you, and you're stopping all out defense from whatever you're fighting. So it's essentially +1 rend for the Chosen, who are only rend 1. So even though they have the mortals, that helps. And then what's in what regiment doesn't hurt. That doesn't affect too many things, but the Gaunt Summoner can take anything in Slaves to Darkness. Whereas the Sorcerer Lord is limited to basically stuff that's mortals. So both Chosen go with the Sorcerer Lord, and everything else basically has to go in the regiment with the Karkadrak. I guess I could have the Chaos Lord with the Sorcerer Lord, but whatever, it's fine. So yeah, it's still 2 Chosen, being faster than some people might think because of Field Sergeant with the Chaos Lord. Moving 7 inches, and then still getting the +2 to charge once per game from the Karkadrak. So, 7 plus 2, basically 9 plus 2d6 when you want it, and potentially 3d6 for the charge if you get the spell up with the Sorcerer Lord. And of course, with the Dread banner, there is no undivided mark anymore, so you can still mark this unit Slaanesh if you want to get the 3d6 pick 2 charge on them as well. So it can still be very fast. It's still very killy. I think it'll still work. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to miss the Demon Mounted Lord too much, and I don't think I'll miss the Knights too much. They were generally on the flank doing stuff. I guess the difference is obviously the Knights can outfight things on a flank, whereas the Fell Riders are just they're not doing any killing. The Furies aren't doing any killing, so we'll see how it goes. Let me go to everyone else's lists. I haven't looked at these yet. I'm just gonna restart. So we've got 32 people, I believe, playing. I'm just gonna go through and open all of these in a new tab now, and then I can just go through the tabs. There's a chance I missed somebody, but hopefully I do not. Are already checked in. They're excited. That's great. I feel like I just missed Jason. Nope, I didn't. Also, I should say, this is a pretty stacked tournament for 32 people. And just to talk about it a little bit more, this is a charity tournament, so it is the Battle to End Alzheimer's. Because we are raising money for an Alzheimer's charity. This is being run by J.C. Watts of, I believe he's a duck. I think he's a Knight of the Pond. So yeah, this has been going on for a few years. I'm a little surprised the turnout's a little lower this year, I think, than it has been in the past. The venue changed, so it had been at Westminster in the store previously known as Tables and Towers, now Bazooka Games, the last few years, and now it's going to be in Havre de Grace. So that might have thrown people off a little bit, I don't know. But it sounds like it's going to be a great tournament and a great setup. I know JC sent out an email saying that after the tournament Saturday, our official hangout venue afterwards is at the Green Turtle in Aberdeen, and a portion of the proceeds from buying food and drink there is going to go towards the charity as well. So big props to JC for organizing all of that and getting it all set up. It's a super cool thing to do for a tournament. And I wish more people came. I tried to hype it up a little bit. I have a lot of people from my group coming, so I feel like we did our part, but I don't know. Anyway, let's look at the lists. Like I was saying, a lot of good folks coming. I recognize some of these people up here. Abby, some of the tough crowd people. Chris Goslin, Connor Sells, A Knight of the Pond. Derek plays whatever. If you play in Maryland, you know a bunch of these people. And then it seems like we're getting some people traveling in from elsewhere in the Northeast, which is awesome, like Fabian and Jeremy Vessier and Martin Orlando. Mike Vaginos is playing in. That's cool. So yeah, just a few people you don't always see down in Maryland, although I know Jeremy's come down here once or twice. So cool to see that. And oh my gosh, where is it? Dylan. I know Dylan was on here somewhere, and he's, he saw I'm on here and he's dodging me again. I see how it is. So, how did this open in this order? Why are the J's here and the A's are over here? All right, whatever. We're starting in the middle, apparently. So I guess we're starting with Jeremy playing No Oosh Flesh Eater Courts. Cool. I know they're strong right now. I don't fully understand necessarily why, but that's okay. I will learn if I face them, I guess. So he's got an Arch Regent, a Crypt Haunter Courtier, a Cardinal Reinforced Ghouls. I think that's 40, right? And then Reinforced Horrors, Reinforced Crypt Guard, a Ghoul King, Grand Justice Gourmain, Beast Flayers, Beast Flayers, Beast Flayers, Beast Flayers, another Ghoul King. So that seems like just a lot of bodies, probably a lot of recursion. Doesn't necessarily seem super killy, unless there's something I'm missing or don't know about. Like maybe do Beast Flayers have mortals? Not sure, not positive. Cool, I dig it. I like lots of infantry and things. That's cool. John Baker's playing Ogre Maw Tribes. Is he playing less Gorgers? I know it. The GT I mentioned in Maryland, like last month. I know he played the all kind of Gorgers list. So this is just in Prophets of the Gulping God instead of that Gorgers Army of Verdun. We've got a Tyrant, a Blood Pelt Hunter, a Butcher, Reinforced Iron Guts, Reinforced Gluttons, and then a Slaughtermaster, Gorger. So 2 Gorger Maw packs. This seems kind of back to what we were seeing at kind of the start of the edition, which I don't know if it surprises me. I'm happy to not just see all of the Stonehorns and things. I know I think they took a little bit of a point hit in the last update, so cool. Again, lots of infantry. So far, all right, 2 lists in. I'm backing up to my list. So the Mind Stealer, the way the Mind Stealer works, if you've never faced it, is that it's a monster and its rampage is in the combat phase. So before fights happen, the combat phase abilities happen. It picks a unit within 6 inches, which is huge. It's not combat range. So pick a unit within 6 inches, and if you roll higher than that unit's control score, they get strike last. So most infantry is control 1. Even most cav is control 2. So basically against not a monster, you're on a 2-up or a 3-up to make something strike last. And the 6-inch range is awesome because you don't have to get the Mind Stealer into combat. It's got 10 wounds and a 5-up save. Like, it's pretty squishy. So anyway, my point is I like seeing lists with a bunch of infantry and things that are going to be getting strike lasted by the Mind Stealer. Keith is playing Ideneth. Keith is in my group. Playing the Eidolon, Alapex. So, all right. So he's back to the shark list. So this looks like 6 sharks, a unit of reinforced eels, and both Eidolons. That's interesting. I always hate the aspect of the sea giving me -1 to save. I hate it. This seems annoying. Martin Orlando playing Slaves to Darkness with Bellacore. Ugh, fool, the coward's way out. And then Unit of Chosen, Furies spawn. Should probably just take up points and go get a flank. And then Sorcerer Lord and the Vanguard. So very similar to what Roger and I are playing, just with one Vanguard instead of the second Chosen, and therefore a little bit less of other stuff. So, you know, Bellicor, Chosen, Vanguard, and a Sorcerer Lord to give something a 5-up ward. Can't really go wrong. It's good. It's strong. Like Vaginos playing Galati Air Force. Oh, all right. My friend Nick Gutowski is going to be sad that somebody else is bringing the Glotkin and he's not. His constant love affair with the Glotkin, always playing him at the wrong time when he's apparently not strong, and then other people play him at different times and win. It's sad. Anyway, Michael has the Glotkin, the Lord of Blights, 2 units of reinforced flies, and a reinforced unit of Blight Kings. So cool. It's just 3 tanky units, I guess, and a couple characters. Nice. I don't know what the sub-faction does, but sweet. Good to see Nurgle out and about. We have a Scath Coven and Daughters of Cain from Nicholas Westervelt. This is Marathi, Blood Sisters. I think Blood Sisters are the combat snakes and Blood Seekers are the shooty snakes. So I think this is 3 units of 10 fighty snakes, which do a lot of mortals, which could be a problem for me. And then a couple unit of Harpies, Canary Life Takers, 3 units of Harpies. I like this. It's Marathi and fighty snakes and some fast little things to be assholes, and the Iron Scale. Seems good. I dig it. Nick Jackson, also a good friend in my group, playing Stormcast. He's playing his Corncast. This army is beautifully converted and painted. It's like they've been fighting Khorne for so long, they've kind of become a little Cornish. So it's all converted and pretty sweet. So damn you, Nick Jackson, for maybe gonna win Best Painted instead of me. Always well deserved. Although Martin Orlando is coming too, who's a very good painter, and Jeremy's stuff is also tends to be very, very well painted. So not a shoo-in. Anyway, enough about painting. He's playing Bastion, 6 Prosecutors, Indrasta, 2 units of Ether Wings. Again, I love just having a couple little fast shitbags to run around. Dracothian Guard Concussors, Knight Arcanum, Vindictors, and then a Lord Relictor, and a unit of Reinforced Vigilers. I don't think it's super, super strong, but it's very, very pretty. So I hope Nick wins some games. That's me. We already looked at my list, but maybe I'll leave it open in case I want to go back to it and talk about it. I didn't talk about... I'm taking Morbid Conjuration. The only reason I'm taking that instead of Kronspine is because I have not rebased my converted Chaos Gargant onto a Kronspine base. I had a little, not a Mega Gargant, one of the little normal Chaos Gargants from when we could ally that in from Beasts of Chaos. Because since I only have one cast, generally when you have one cast, Kronspine is usually a better option, just to throw your one cast at Kronspine and see if you get it, in my opinion. But I have the models for Morbid Conjuration, so that's what we're bringing. Roger, this is who I've mentioned in my friend group a couple times, also plays Slaves and is bringing a similar list with the Double Chosen, Chaos Sorcerer Lord, and the Chaos Lord. But then instead of the other little techie stuff that I have, he's just got a Chaos Lord on a Demonic Mount with a reinforced unit of Chaos Knights. So instead of a couple little techie things, he's just got a 3rd big hammer, another big block of 40 wounds on a 3-up save, which is real good. And of course, the Lord on Demonic Mount, much like the Lord on Foot can do with the Chosen, the Demonic Mount Lord can trigger the Chaos Knights to fight and give them +1 to wound, which is obviously very nice. So this is, shove a bunch of very angry 3-up save wounds in your face and kill you. Ryan Garvey, also playing Stormcast in Sentinels of the Bleak Citadels. Indrasta. Ooh, 2 Indrastas. I love seeing Indrasta. I mean, I don't love it for my Mind Stealer, but, it's fine. I have 1 monster. It's okay. So Indrasta, Reinforced Long Strikes, Knight Arcanum with Reinforced Vigilers, so a little more shooting than Nick's list. And then a Relictor, a Lord Terminos, Reinforced Prosecutors, Reinforced Reclusions. I like that. I like mixed arm stuff. I like a little bit of shooting. I like combat. Despite the fact that I'm playing slaves, and before that I was playing OBR. I don't know what's happened to me. I don't know how I've become a degenerate, shove my armored guys into your face and not think too much list, having come from playing Wood Elves for a bajillion years. But here we are. I still like that style. Scott Dealman was going to run all eels one drop, and then sharks went down in points, and here I am. And then a YouTube video. I'm not going to risk opening the YouTube video on stream while I'm recording this. So again, got an aspect of the storm, the Eidolon, with, I think this is the basic setup for the punchy guy. I have to assume, where you only hit him on 4-ups and you don't get crits and stuff, which is annoying. Alapex, 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 Alapex. So only 4 sharks, unlike Keith. And for that, he gets a Leviathan. This is an unreinforced unit of Ishlean Guard, and he does have a reinforced unit of Reavers as well, with Lotan. Is Lotan... I forget what Lotan does. Is he the one who can bring things in from Deep Strike, Reserve, whatever? I don't know. Yeah, I think both of those Idneth lists are good. Idneth has been doing pretty well. They seem a little scary. Thaddeus has Sylvaneth with Alariel, has 6 hunters with great swords, Belthanos, and another unit of 6 hunters with great swords, and a unit of Spite Revenants. I still am just not super scared of Sylvaneth. I know for a fact I can kill Alariel in a turn if either unit of Chosen gets into her, which helps a lot, obviously. I'm a little less fast than I was at Everwinter with the Gaunt Summoner, but, you know, that's okay. I think the greatswords do mortals, I think, if I'm remembering right, so that this could be a little problematic against my list, but I'm sure these are only control 2. So Mind Stealer is still being very scary. They're not wanting to go into the Mind Stealer and Chosen. Abby Lou Emanuel, very good dude that plays in Maryland and Virginia as well. Playing Khorne again. I know at the GT last month he brought slaves, but he's back to his Khorne, back to the Khorny boys. So he's got a Mighty Lord of Khorne. I think that's the one on foot. That's like the generic of the special character on foot, I think. 20 Blood Warriors, 20 Blood Warriors, a Blood Secrator, a Blood Stoker, a Realm Gore Ritualist, a reinforced unit of Skull Reapers, and a unit of Wrathmongers. Haven't seen Khorne that much lately, but it seems strong, and I know people have been tending towards the lots of Blood Warriors, so very curious to see how this goes. Like I said, Abby's good. I think he said when I played him he came from like a competitive Magic background kind of recently. Anyway, good dude, good player. Alex Bracey with Crow's Hollow, it being a Flesh Eater Quartz army. This does have Ushuran. So we've got Ushuran, 6 Horrors, a Herald. We've got the Aberrant Cardinal with a reinforced unit of Ghouls. We have a Vargulf Courtier. We have a Gore Warden and 6 Morbeg Knights. So a little bit more variety than Jeremy's list. People rate Ushuran very highly. I've yet to see him do super well, like personally, in a game that I've been in or been watching. But whatever. I trust that he is indeed pretty good. And Feck is good. Alex Hamilton playing Sylvaneth. We've got a pretty good spread of factions so far. We've got Alariel, Tree Lord, Karnath Hunters with Scythes, Belthanos, a Warsong Revenant, and the Gossamed Archer. So this is a little bit more the monster style with the Tree Lord, Belthanos, and the Warsong Revenant, kind of more the big models. These guys are just a nice little fast screen kind of deal. Baptiste playing Ironjaws. So this is an Ardboy, and I wouldn't say it's an Ardboy heavy list. It's pretty similar to what Jacob Brandon's been playing. So Weird Nod Shaman, one of the Maul Gruntas, a Tusk boss. So yeah, two big pigs to run around, and then an Arboy big boss, reinforced brutes, and then War Chanter, 2 small units of Arboys, reinforced Arboys. So 40 Arboys, big unit of brutes, 2 pigs. Yeah, basically what I've seen some people running, and it's very solid. It's very solid. The Arboys they're tanky, they're hard to lift, they've got some movement tricks. It's a good army. I'm sitting here realizing that my beer fridge must be too cold because this beer is a little bit frozen. But that's all right. All right. We've got Skaven. Excellent. Cheese It from Brian. So we've got Thankful, Clan Rats. Oh, it's a 1-drop. Oh, no, it's not. I didn't scroll down far enough. So yeah, we've got 20 Clan Rats, 40 Clan Rats, 80 Clan Rats. That's not max Clan Rats, but that's a lot. So Thankful, 2 units of reinforced Storm Fiends. Oh no, sorry, one reinforced, 1 of 3 of Storm Fiends. And then a Master Molder and a small unit of Rat Ogres. I don't know. I hear that lots of Clan Rats is good. They have annoyed me to no end the 1 or 2 games that I've played them, and Storm Fiends, of course, hit real hard still. So we'll see how the Rats do. Chris Werder, also with Corn. Ooh, we got 2 Corns. We got a Bloodmaster, 20 Bloodletters, a Skull Taker, Aspiring Deathbringer, Blood Warriors, so 40 Blood Warriors again, and then 2 units of Blood Reavers with a Slaughter Priest. So Cornate Legion is, I guess this is probably the subfaction that incentivizes you to take Demons and Mortals, since that's mixed. Christopher Kreiner with Night Haunt, so we continue to get more factions represented here. He's got Olander, Dreadblade Harrows, 2 units of Hex Wraiths, no Lord Executioner, and then 2 units of reinforced Blade Geists, a Guardian of Souls, and Glaive Wraith Stalkers. Yeah, I haven't seen Night Hunt lately. Like, they were the big bugaboo scary thing for a while this edition, and they seem to have fallen off pretty hard, although looking at, like, I don't know, when the Honest Wargamer stat show is on and stuff, they seem like they're still doing well. You just don't see them as much. So yeah, we'll see how it does. They do not personally, I am not scared of the Spoopy Boys personally against my list, because first of all, I have a bunch of mortals to get through the 4-up unrendable save. I have the cat to make them strike last, and they have no range to kill the cat before they go into me. It could be a problem. They are very fast with the Dreadblades and the Hex Wraiths, so it could be a problem if I go against it on like the 8 objective map. But otherwise, like I just think it's just gonna bounce off me mostly, and then I'm gonna kill all the ghosts. I don't know. That's my hope. Chris Goslin playing the Heroes of the Forge. I don't know what this Army of Ronan is. First Forged. So he's got Bastion, Annihilators with Grand Hammers, Karzai, love to see it, with Gardas and Praetors to bodyguard Karzai. Then we've got the Knight Arcanum, a Knight Judicator with Griffhounds, and Andrasta. This is all very similar to something that I would run. Very hero heavy. Yeah, I don't know. I dig it. It's not a lot of bodies. It's not a lot of wounds. The Annihilators are very much not what they used to be. They're still very good if they get in. Like, they are still very killy, but you don't have the option to drop within 7 anymore. You don't have the auto reroll charge when you come down. So, like, it's just it's much easier to just with this and not get them in, and then just be sitting there with, your junk hanging out. Connor Sell playing the Goblin Dream. Oh, good, he's back to playing the goblins. I think Connor was on to cities for a while, but he has a very nice, well-painted Gloomspite list. So nice to see that coming out again. So he's got Scragrot, Gobblepalooza, the Loon Smasher Fanatics. Love to see some Fanatics. Squig Boss with Nash Squid, 2 units, Squig. 2 units of Bounders, and a Squig Herd, all of those reinforced, so lots of Squigs. And then the Cave Shaman, another unit of Loon Smasher, there we go, Fanatics. Unit of Stabas, and a unit of Spore Splatta Fanatics. So lots of Fanatics. I guess there's a unit of Stabas. I was going to say, I don't know if they can hide. I don't think they can hide in Squigs units. So I guess maybe one unit will be hiding in the Stabas. I don't even remember how that works anymore. Maybe some of these fanatics just start on the board. Cool. Goblins again. Another unique faction here. Ooh, a third. Oh my god, why do I keep making weird ass noises when I see a corn list? I'm like, ooh, it's a corn list. I don't even like corn that much. I don't know why I'm reacting like this. Maybe I need to play corn. I don't know. I don't need to play corn because I have an assembled but unpainted most of 80% of a Seraphon list sitting in the other room to start painting after I'm done this GT with my slaves. So, not playing corn anytime soon. All right, so we've got, this is the first Bloodthirsters we've seen, I think, out of the corn lists, which is interesting. I think this guy went up in points. One of them went up in points, I think, maybe both. So the Wrath of Corn Bloodthirster, the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage with Blood Crushers and Flesh Hounds, so a little bit of fast stuff, and then Slaughter Priest, Claws of Karanak. And then the Regiment of Renown with the Nurgle Regiment of Renown with the Harbinger of Decay, the Blight Lords, the Blight Kings. So that's cool. I dig it. Eric McDonald. With Seraphon. Sorry, I'm just chuckling because nobody can spell Alzheimer's. This is not just you, Eric. I'm not just calling you out, but a lot of people have a hard time spelling Alzheimer's, as I've learned in the last couple weeks. So we've got Seraphon, which again I'm working on building a Seraphon army, so excited to see this. Got the Skink Starseer, 2 units of reinforced Raptidon Chargers, 2 units of reinforced Agrodon Lancers, a Scarvet on a Carnosaur, who I think maybe went down in points in the points update. And then 2 units of Huanchi with Dart Pipes coming in at exactly 2,000 points. Yeah, I mean, everybody loves the Hunters with Bolas, but they're 100 points. So obviously didn't have the points for that. And the Dart Pipes can potentially be good. I think it's a -1 to wound buff in that combat phase. But unlike the Bolas, so the good thing about the Bolas, you don't actually have to do a wound with the Bolas to get their -1 charge dice debuff. You just have to target the thing and roll a 3 up. So you don't have to do any wounds. The Dart Pipes, on the other hand, you have to actually get a wound through and wound the unit to get the -1 to wound debuff in the following combat phase. So they're a little worse in that regard. Whatever. They're still coming in from reserve. They're still 2 cheap little units that can do tactics and screen and things. So yeah, it's a lot of fast, angry dinosaurs. I wonder if it would be worth dropping the Carnosaur to like the Agrodon hero, and that would free up points to maybe make these both Bolas. That's probably more what I would run. Just thinking about this because again, I'm going to be running Seraphon at some point in the future. I don't mind just the Starseer and not having the Slan. I feel like I tend to find that having both is too much casting, because with 5 casts you just kind of run out of things, impactful things to cast. I feel like 3 or 4 is like 3-4 is kind of the sweet spot, which is, the Slam plus something else. But the Starseer gives you the 5-up ward potentially for a couple units in battle round 2 or 3. So I can see taking that as opposed to the Slam. Obviously way cheaper too. Tzeentch, Fabian's Tzeentch with the Weird Flame Host with Kairos and a Lord of Change. Shocking. 6 Flamers, 20 Horrors, 10 Pink Horrors, and then a Chaos Spawn and 2x3 Screamers. That feels like pretty standard Tzeentch. I think my impression is Tzeentch has been struggling a little bit lately, but I don't know that for sure. The Greench. Nice. Let's see. Can I have my train rolls yet, please? No, you can't. Sorry, Freddy. So another Night Hunt list with Olander again. Reinforced Dreadblade Heroes. That's interesting. Hexwraith, Executioner, Reinforced Banshees. 2 units of what? 3 units of Reinforced Banshees. All right, my first instinct is, wow, that's bad. But who knows? 1 unit is great for some magic defense, but I don't know what 3 units does. Maybe I need to look up the rules and they're better than I thought. Guardian Souls, Chain Ghasts. Yeah, I don't know what in this unit, what in this list is doing any killing of anything. So maybe it's playing grab ass. I don't think Banshees are very killy. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll look it up. Harry playing Seraphon, as always. Very nicely painted, by the way. With a Slan, Agrodons, Hunters with Dart Pipes, 2 units of Terrorwing, so fast things. Scarvet on Agrodon, Reinforced Lancers, Reinforced Lancers. Sorry, it's 3 units of Reinforced Lancers. I think this is the same list he's been playing for a while to some moderate success. So not switching anything up. Jacob, ooh, he's playing Cruel Boys. I think I knew that. I thought he might be playing... He's been playing Iron Jaws a lot, but I guess he went back to Cruel Boys after this update. So got Gobsprak, the Troggoth, 6 Bolt Boys, Sludge Beast, Killbow, love to see it, 2 units of Monster Killers, and then Swamp Kalla, Shaman, another reinforced unit of Bolt Boys, and then 2 more units of Monster Killers. So we've got 4 units of Monster Killers running around, teleporting, being surprisingly killy, 2x6 Bolt Boys. The Troggoth now counts as 5 on an objective, which is kind of nice. The Snatchaboss surprises me a little bit, given that there's no big unit of Gut Rippers. There's just the little Monster Killers, but I generally trust Jacob to build a good list. And then Jake DiBattista, also in our group, also a friend, also playing Cruel Boys. Probably borrowing some of my models. We'll see. I don't know what he's going to show up with or need tomorrow, because we have a third friend, Steve, who plays Cruel Boys, so he's probably borrowing just Steve stuff. I know I don't have any Monster Killers. He might be borrowing some of Jacob's things that he's not using as well. Maybe that's why he's got the Gut Rippers and Jacob doesn't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. He's got Gobsprak, Breakaboth on Troggoth, Sludge Raker, here's the 20 Gut Rippers, and then 6 Bolts, a Shaman, 3 Bolts, another Trog, and then 2 more Monster Killers. I almost guarantee you one of these Troggoths is going to be mine. I would love to have cover. It's 12 hours before the tournament. I'd love to know, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. It's fine. James O'Brien, bringing Stormcast. Points drops, you say? Yes. I guess the Celestant Prime went down. I think he was 320. So Celestant Prime. Paladors with Javelins. One of those is reinforced. Long Strike's reinforced. Then the good old Lord Relictor teleport things. Questor Soulsworn. 5 Vigilors. A Knight Arcanum. Seems solid. We've got Jason Bryden with another Iron Jaws list with Big Pig, the hero. Zalgrok Anvil Smasher, who is cool, but you don't see him much. War Chanter, 10 Brutes, and a small unit of Pigs, a Shaman, a big unit of Ardboys, another small unit of Pigs, and then the Ardboy Big Boss. Seems solid. Let's see, that's 1 big pig, right? And 2 small units of pigs, little pigs. Seems good. And then last but not least, Jason Straub playing oh my god, both neural units of Glotkin. I hope one of them wins the tournament, just so Nick G can be sad. I'm sorry, Nick. So it's the Glotkin, a Lord of Blights, 10 Blight Kings, Blowab, another unit of 10 Blight Kings, Rotmire Creed, Horticulus Slimex. You keep seeing this, and it still surprises me that you see Horticulus without the Beast of Nurgle, because I'm pretty sure he can bring a beast back after it dies or something. And that's the synergy with him, but I don't know. People keep doing it, so I guess there's something going on. It's something good with it. Aetheront Machineries. I haven't really been paying attention to the manifestation lores, but it seems like there's a good variety. I've seen some forbidden, whatever the forbidden one is, Aetheront Machineries, some Morbid Conjuration, some Kronspines. seems like a good variety. So what do we not have? We don't have OBR. We don't have Soulblight. That doesn't surprise me because the book's coming out soon and people might just be waiting to play the new book. No OBR surprises me a little bit. I know they haven't been doing super well and haven't been played a whole lot lately since they got a little bit of point nerfs. Like the Death Riders went up to 200 points, and I feel like after that took a lot of wind out of some people's sails. I've been tinkering with lists for OBR a little bit lately, and I haven't landed on what I think I want to play with them yet. But I am curious to give them another try soonish. I've been playing so much I put them down for a while. But I've been playing Slaves now for a little while, and I think it might be time to give the OBR another try. They had a couple points drops in the last update. I don't know if it moves the needle a lot on what you take. Soul Reaper to go down, which I was already thinking of taking the Soul Reaper or 2 for the -1 to wound debuff, and it's just a 1 cast, the little caster. And you can take the sub-faction that gives you +1 to cast from your little Mortizons. So, I could see a world where not. It's so hard to ever say not take Catacroats, but I could see a world where maybe not taking either of the Mortarks and taking a lot of the little Mortizon casters as your characters and freeing up some points for more bodies might be good. I'd be very curious to see if you could make a list work with like a couple Mortek Guard, a couple Catapults, a couple Soul Reapers, and a Bone Shaper, and like 1 or 2 of the whatever the monster is, Bone Tithe, whatever, Harvester, whatever, the Harvester, there we go, the Gothazar Harvester. But I haven't messed around with it. We'll see. So yeah, no OBR, no Slanesh, which is not shocking. No Giants, which is nice. I never hate not seeing Sons of Behemoth. No Fire Slayers, also not surprising. No cities. Anything else missing? Most of those are not surprising to me. I'm sure I'm missing something, but yeah, I don't know. Not super surprising. There's so many Order armies. I'm sure I'm missing like one of the Order armies. Cities, no Fire Slayers. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, for a 32-person tournament, that's good. Good faction representation all around. I think that speaks to the game being in a good spot. People have talked a little bit of trash about 4th and like, oh, the game's dying or dead or whatever, and some of that I think is playing TTS versus in person, which I think I've talked about before, but like, I'm still having fun. I still think it's in a pretty good spot. I think also some of that might be like people who play 5 games a week versus me who plays a tournament every month or 2 and like a couple games in between. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the tournament. There is going to be, I believe they got a liquor license as well. So in addition to the stuff at Green Turtle afterwards, JC, great job organizing, got a liquor license. So we'll be able to buy beer and stuff there, which is always fun. I think there's going to be like a food truck or something. Should be a good weekend. I will try to take some pictures. I will try to do a recap video once it's over. And until then, I will see you later. Have good games. Thanks for watching.